So what do you need to know about remote play for the PlayStation 4? Well, what you need to know first and foremost is that you need a Vita. Without a Vita, it just sort of doesn't work. It doesn't exist. And beyond that, what you need to know is that it isn't a solution that is going to work across every game that's out there. The button mapping between the DualShock 4 and the Vita for a game can be really complex depending on the game you're playing. Something like Assassin's Creed 4 is going to have a lot of changes implemented in order to make sure every button's being used. Whereas a simpler game like Resogun doesn't really use all of the buttons, so it'll be much simpler to translate over to the Vita screen. So don't go into remote play thinking that you're going to be able to play anything and everything. Technically, yes, every game is supposed to require support for it, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a great experience. And I think what we're going to see as the generation moves on is you're going to see games that are going to cater to remote play in their design. For instance, a game with a really small UI isn't going to translate very well to the Vita because the Vita is such a small screen. You're not going to be able to read very easily. You're going to run into problems there. The other thing you need to know about remote play is that you're going to want to be on a good network. So the 3 ways you can connect remotely with the PlayStation Vita is directly to the PlayStation 4, is to the PlayStation 4 via a router on a local network, or over the internet between routers. So you're going to want to be on a network that's fast, because any sort of game, if you're playing a shooter and there's even half a second of latency there, that could be the difference between getting the kill or getting killed. So you want to make sure you're on a great network. You want to make sure your network at home is really fast. And you just want to make sure that depending on the connection you're using, you're in the most optimal setup. So for instance, if I'm connecting directly to the PlayStation 4, I don't want to go into another room because that connection is going to break off. You're going to see glitches in the video, and then you're going to see gameplay affected. If I'm within a local network, you're going to want to make sure you're still within a close enough range to your router that it doesn't affect your connection. And like I said earlier, if you're playing over the internet, you're going to want to be on a great connection. So they're just things that you're going to want to keep in mind when you're going to use remote play for the PlayStation 4.